Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. And I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Gilgamesh. So, for today's video, obviously, seen by the picture you guys see right here, this is What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Gilgamesh, part 2. Okay, some things I kind of want to clear up, because after watching my video, near the end, I'm gonna say Gilgamesh did not show his gate of Babylon to anybody, so nobody knows that who they think at this point is Naruto, but it's actually Gilgamesh. They do not know that he has this kind of power, but they're just really intimidated and scared of him because he's just letting off so much bloodlust. And so anyway, and that's why they were scared of him. So I probably should have said that. And of course at the end he said, filthy mongrels. Alright, so picking up from where we last left off. Okay, so obviously Naruto, Mema, and Mito are heading home. And Mema and Mito are kind of looking at Naruto, and of course Mito just finally says, she says, Naruto, are you alright? And Gilgamesh says, first of all, don't call me that. And she said, call you what? Gilgamesh says, don't call me by that name. I find it irritating. And Mito says, what, you mean the name that Mom gave you? And of course Gilgamesh says, first of all, even though yes, she is my mother, however, she still has a long ways to go to prove that she is actually worthy of being my mother. Just like you both have a long ways to go to prove you're worthy of being my siblings. So anyway, and of course Mema's starting to get a little bit steam. Like you see like steam coming out of his ears, and he's like, first of all, bro, you need to calm down. You're not all that. Trust me, I could beat you any day of the week. And then Gilgamesh says, oh, would you like to put that to the test? He says, look, little brother, you're nothing to me. Well, how can I put this? You're nothing more than a filthy mongrel. You lay down when I tell you to lay down. You don't eat until I tell you to eat. And you don't die until I tell you to die. Of course, this intimidating Mema, and this actually causes Mema to, because Mema's about to say something, but he just feels fear comes over him. He says, you know what, I should better shut up. He's actually meaning what he's intending to say. And of course Mito's finally getting put up. She says, alright Naruto, that's enough. Okay, I get it. You finally had enough of everybody just picking on you, and you think if you adopted this new personality. And of course Gilgamesh cuts her off. He says, first of all, little sister, you have no right to tell me what to do. As far as I'm concerned, you should shut up and mind your own business, considering you had no interest in me before. And then Mito says, alright, fine. Then what do you want us to call you then if you don't want to be called Naruto? And Gilgamesh says, you can call me Gilgamesh. And then Mito and Mema kind of have a little quick flashback, and they remember hearing Naruto say Gilgamesh yesterday. And they said Gilgamesh. And now Mema and Mito are starting to think that maybe Naruto isn't really all in his right mind. They think Naruto has developed a split personality disorder from to kind of help him from handling all this abuse. So of course they kind of keep them to themselves because they don't want to well, if they say it out loud, Gilgamesh is going to basically laugh at them and basically, and well, not really laugh at them. He's gonna get angry, and then he's gonna basically obliterate them out of existence. But they keep this to themselves. But they are gonna tell Kushina when they get home, when all three of them get home. So of course, they get to where the house is, and Mema and Mito say we're home, and of course Kushina says welcome back, and then she sees Naruto, but he seems more prideful and more cocky than he was seeming yesterday. And he was also seeming a little bit arrogant. And Gilgamesh says, "Is dinner ready?" And of course, he doesn't take his shoes off, and he just starts walking. And Mito says, "Naruto." They said, "Sorry, Gilgamesh, you need to take off your shoes." And of course, Gilgamesh says, "Who are you to tell me what to do? I'm a king. I am a god. You don't have the right to tell me what to do, filthy mongrels." And of course, he's just walking. And of course, Kushina, she says, "Naruto, you need to take your shoes off right now." And of course, Gilgamesh says, "Shut up, woman." And of course, Kushina shuts up because, again, if you guys don't remember, Gilgamesh has charisma, intimidation. You know what? Alright, so later on in this video, Gilgamesh is going to explain all of his abilities, powers, and I'll show you guys the list because I have it saved on my phone, so get ready for that. But anyway, that's besides the point. Alright, moving on. And Gilgamesh just goes back to his room and he says, these filthy mongrels need to really learn their place, and they really need to learn when to shut up. I'm getting tired of talking to me like they are on my level or they're above me. And Gilgamesh is just kind of laying on his bed, and he decides to go to sleep. Meanwhile, coming back to Kushina, Mema, and Mito. Mema and Mito tell Kushina that they say, "Hey, Mom, we don't know what's really going on with Naruto, but we think that he may not be all right in his head." And Kushina says, "Look, I know your brother's going through a rough change, but I know it's hard to deal with, but you got to just try to." And they said, "No, Mom, we mean like we don't think that he's all mentally there." And of course, Kushina gets and says, "Look, I know you guys have never really saw eye to eye with your brother on a lot of things, but calling him mentally ill isn't going to help anything." And they said, "No, we literally believe, like, what we're trying to say is we think Naruto's developed a split personality disorder." Which, of course, they're wrong, because Naruto no longer exists, only Gilgamesh remains. Even though they're basically the same person, but Gilgamesh is mainly in control, so, yeah. And remember, Naruto looks exactly like Gilgamesh, so Naruto's whiskers are gone and everything. But anyway, Kushina says, "Alright, that's enough. Your brother does not have split personality disorder." And of course, she says, "Alright, what makes you believe that Naruto has split personality disorder?" And Mema and Mito respond with, "Well, he's calling himself Gilgamesh." And of course, Kushina remembers Naruto saying Gilgamesh out of nowhere yesterday. And she says, "Well, he did call himself Gilgamesh yesterday, but he didn't really call himself Gilgamesh. All he just said was Gilgamesh." Well, he just said Gilgamesh, but never really paid much attention to it. Then, of course, Mima and Mito tell their mom, they say, look, Mom, we love Big Brother Naruto just as much as you love him, but we really think that he might need some help, so maybe since tomorrow's an off day, maybe it might be a better... We might think it'd be a better if you just have somebody who specializes in mental disorders to kind of... What we're saying is that Naruto should get some counseling and see why he's acting like this. Because this isn't the Naruto that we know. And of course, Gilgamesh overhears them because, remember, nothing gets past him. Oh, sorry guys, my bad. And of course, nothing gets past him. So anyway, Gilgamesh gets up and he opens up the door. He says, I can hear y'all, right? And of course, Mima, Mito, and Kushina says, well, you're just kind of worrying us, Naruto. And Gilgamesh finally says, first of all, I said stop calling me by that name. My name is not Naruto. My name is Gilgamesh. And I'm the king of heroes. I'm a god. And of course, now Kushina's starting to see what Mima and Mito are talking about. And now she's starting to kind of lean towards Mima and Mito. And she says, Naruto, honey, do you need to... Do you want to talk about anything? And Gilgamesh says, woman, I said once and I said it before. Don't call me by that name. My name is Gilgamesh. And of course Kushina isn't wanting to back down because, well, now she's actually starting to believe that Naruto has developed a split personality disorder. And of course she's about to get closer, but then all of a sudden the gates of Babylon, the golden portals that you see behind Gilgamesh, start appearing and opening up, and you just see swords, spears, hammers, axes, sickles, size, and basically any weapon he has stored inside his treasury. Of course, we would already... And they're all pointing at Kushina, Mima, and Mito, and he says, for the last time, get down on the ground. And Gilgamesh says, look. And of course, you know what? No, scratch that. Kushina says, Naruto, how did you obtain this power? And Gilgamesh says, first of all, I was born with this power. I just know how to tap into it. This power is reserved for me, a king, a god. And then Gilgamesh says, look, from now on you'll start referring to me as Gilgamesh. Naruto, the one that you know, is long gone. And Gilgamesh is all that's left. And of course, the weapons go back into the Gate of Babylon, and the Gate of Babylon disappears. So, hold on, guys. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had to take care of something real quick. Alright, so I think... Alright, yeah, so Gilgamesh explained to his mom and his brother and his sister that the reason why Naruto is acting this way is because Naruto is my reincarnation. My name is Gilgamesh, king of heroes and the first hero, and I'm the strongest being in the universe. I'm 2/3 god, 1/3 human. I have access to the portals you just saw behind me called the Gate of Babylon. And I can do so much, much more. But anyway, Naruto is my reincarnation. And I have taken over Naruto's body, and Naruto has relinquished all control over to me. And Naruto is currently asleep, I should say. So, yes, before you ask, I am I'm only one third human, and I'm 2/3 God. So, I'm what you humans call a demigod. But I'm more like, how should I say this? A quarter human and 3/4 God. That's what makes me the strongest. And I have divinity. And of course, Gilgamesh explains, and then we're gonna do a time skip. So, Naruto, Mima, and Mito are currently 13 years old. If you're wondering what Gilgamesh looks like now, he basically looks like what you see in the picture right now, with the black jacket, white t-shirt, black pants, and black boots. And let's just say this. Gilgamesh in this is going to have a harem. He's going to have all the girls, okay? All the girls. And when I mean all the girls, I mean all the girls. Well, the girls that he deemed pretty. And yeah, so for all you harem lovers out there, there you go. So anyway, Gilgamesh is walking with his brother and sister. And of course, Mima and Mito say, "Hey, Gilgamesh." And Gilgamesh says, "What?" Oh, and I'm just going to say, after learning more about Gilgamesh and who he truly was and how strong he was, and him actually being a king and a god, like a king and a literal god, so they kind of just have a lot of respect towards Gilgamesh, but they also fear him because they know how powerful he is. And Gilgamesh is not afraid to kill people, obviously, because Gilgamesh, he's not afraid to kill people. I mean, when you can literally destroy a multiverse with a single slash of your sword, I'm pretty sure you're not that terrified of killing people. But anyway, alright, so today is obviously graduation day. And Naruto is just kind of sitting in the back of the class, and Naruto has a special desk. It happens to be plated in gold. And here's the best thing. Naruto doesn't have to, well, Gilgamesh, Naruto, same person. Alright, so Gilgamesh he basically has an entire desk to himself. No one's allowed to sit there. And it literally says on front of the desk, it says King. It literally says the King. So only the King is allowed to sit there. And all the girls in the classroom are always over Naruto. And of course, Sakura, with her Sasuke fangirlness, is only attached to Sasuke, and she says, I don't see what's so special about Naruto. And of course, everybody says, "Shut up, Sakura!" And Gilgamesh says, "Don't worry about what that filthy mongrel says." And of course, she says, "Who are you calling a mongrel?" And Gilgamesh just looks at her and he says, "I'm talking about you, mongrel." And of course, she shuts up, because she finally knows her role. Yes, I just quoted The Rock there, guys. So there you go. If you guys are some Rock fans out there you go. So anyway, Gilgamesh is currently just waiting. He's like, "Alright, I wonder who's going to be on my team." And of course, Iruka says, "Alright, and I changed how you can graduate it. So you don't have to perform the clone jutsu. All you gotta do is really just pass an IQ test. And of course Gilgamesh passes because, and his IQ is infinite. Literally, no, that's what his scores say, because he's so wise and smart that he basically has infinite wisdom. The only reason why... Alright, I'm not even going to get into that. Forget about it. Because I get triggered thinking about it. But anyway, Gilgamesh is just sitting there, and of course, Iruka passes back the IQ test. Of course, Gilgamesh passing with a 100. And of course, now how I arranged this team is basically based on however high their IQ is. That's where that team is going to be stationed at. So here it is. And of course Iruka then proceeds to not answer, but give the results. He says, coming on top of the class and the rookie of the year, Gilgamesh. And yeah, Gilgamesh changed his name to Naruto. He changed his old name from Naruto and changed it to Gilgamesh. So Iruka says, and let's just say this, Iruka has called Gilgamesh Lord Gilgamesh. He says Lord Gilgamesh is on top, rookie of the year. And of course, let's just say this, some of the guys, I mean, they don't really hate Gilgamesh, but they don't really like him either. It's more like, it's a win or lose situation. Like, there's some of the guys who are, like, cool with Gilgamesh, and then there's just some of the guys in the class that just hate Gilgamesh's guts. Sasuke is cool with Gilgamesh, but he doesn't, like, really hang out with him because he doesn't really care. Shikamaru, he sees Gilgamesh as a pretty chill dude. Neji, obviously... he sees Gilgamesh as more of a rival than he does anything. And Choji doesn't really care because, well, he's eaten. And of course, Kiba hates Gilgamesh's gut. Because Kiba says, and I quote, Gilgamesh is stealing all the girls. And Gilgamesh says, hey, it's not my fault that the girls all want me. And I'm happy to oblige them. Yeah, Gilgamesh says, well... I'm happy to oblige all the ladies. All the girls are getting a taste of Gilgamesh. Like, Gilgamesh says, I'm getting all the females. I'm getting all the girls. I'm getting all the women. All the ladies. But anyway, but I digress. Alright, so anyway, Iruka announces the teams. He says, alright, so I am going to change some of the lineup here. Alright, so it's going to be Sasuke, alright, it's going to be Gilgamesh, Sasuke Uchiha, and Hinata Hyuga. Now, Hinata is more... Alright, so if you guys remember Road to Ninja movie, yeah, this version of Hinata has that version of Hinata's personality. So, she's a whole lot more confident, and she doesn't want to share Gilgamesh with anybody. Like, that's just how she is. And of course, Gilgamesh mainly loves Hinata out of all the other girls, but he still loves all girls. He still loves all females. He still loves all the women, all the ladies. But he just shows Hinata more attention, if you will, than all the other ladies, women, females, or girls. But again, I digress. So anyway, Gilgamesh says, alright, so, okay. And of course, Kakashi is arriving late. He says, and of course, Gilgamesh says, this filthy mongrel needs to hurry up. I'm losing my patience. And of course, Kakashi says, hmm. And before Kakashi can even say anything, Gilgamesh says, shut up, you filthy mongrel. Explain yourself while you're late. And if I don't like your answer, then I'm going to obliterate you out of existence. And that's literally what he says to Kakashi. And Kakashi's just stunned. He's like, wait, huh? And of course, Kakashi says, look, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but you need to learn how to and of course, Gilgamesh says, you dare talk back to me, a king, a god. If I were you, I would watch my mouth. Because you're standing in the presence of someone who can literally obliterate you in one shot. And Kakashi says, alright, this kid is arrogant and cocky, and I hate him. And he's very prideful, obviously. And of course, Kakashi says, 5 minutes, all of you, including you, Blondie. And of course, Gilgamesh says, you dare look down upon me? And he says, who? And he says, who do you think you are? Thinking you can talk to me, a king, when you are nothing but a filthy mongrel. An insect compared to me. And of course, Kakashi doesn't want to hear any more of Gilgamesh's ranting, so he just body flickers to the roof. Gilgamesh just flash steps up to the roof, and he says, oh, you thought I wasn't done talking to you. He says, oh no, you don't get away from me. He says, you're going to grovel at my feet and beg for my forgiveness. And of course, Kakashi says, yeah, the moment I do that is the moment I jump off of a building and impale myself on 1,000 spikes. And Gilgamesh says, well, I can arrange that for you, you filthy mongrel. And then, of course, Sasuke and Hinata say, no, well, Sasuke doesn't say anything, but Hinata says, Gilgamesh, you need to calm down. Gilgamesh says, fine, but I only do it for you. He says, you're lucky that this woman, this girl, this female, this lady, has spared your life. Because if it was up to, well, even though it is up to me, you're lucky that she saved your life. And of course, Kakashi asks them what their dreams and goals are. Sasuke's is, of course, to get revenge on his brother Itachi. Hinata says to give herself over to Gilgamesh. And Gilgamesh says, my one goal, my one dream, is to become king of this world. And then that's just all he says. Nothing else. He doesn't say anything else. He just says he's wanting to become the king of this world. And that's it. Alright, so Kakashi says, alright. Starting, he says, 2 days from now, we're going to be having a little training session. You all need to meet me there at Training Ground 7 at 7 o'clock sharp. And if you're not there, well then, you're going back to the academy and start all over again. And he says, oh, and by the way, don't eat anything or otherwise you'll puke. Looking towards Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh returns him with a scowl. And he says, if you don't stop looking, he said, I don't know who gave you permission to look upon me, mongrel, but you better and he said, well, you better remove that scowl off of your face, or otherwise I'll cut your face off. And Kakashi just finally had enough with Gilgamesh just body flickers out of there. And Gilgamesh flash steps home. Now, if you guys are wondering whose team Mima and Mito are on, Kushina has decided to become a Jonin teacher once again. Considering since she's a Jonin, she's going to bring home much more pay, with her children now bringing home some pay. So she figures that, that she needs to be doing. And yes, Mima and Mito are on Kushina's team. And I'm gonna say Sai is on Mema and Mito's team. And of course, anyway, Gilgamesh is the first one home. And Kushina, Mema, and Mito walk through the door and say, hey Gilgamesh, you're home? And Gilgamesh says, I'm in a foul mood today. Do not talk to me. And of course, Kushina says, great, did Kakashi make him mad? And of course, Kushina goes and hugs her son Gilgamesh. She says, so Gilgamesh, how was your day? He says, I hate my teacher. I'm going to disembowel him. And of course, Kushina's few thoughts pop into her head, and she says, yep, he hates him. Because Kushina knows that first impressions are very important to Gilgamesh. And until Gilgamesh gets what he wants, he's basically going to make your life a living hell. Literally. So, anyway, Gilgamesh then presumes to go well, I should have said that Gilgamesh would make your life miserable, but Kushina just figures that's more of a appropriate for Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh would literally do that. But anyway, moving on. 2 days go by. Team 7. And if you're wondering who Team 6 is, that's Kushina's team. Team 6. But anyway, I digress. Alright, so Gilgamesh, Hinata, and Sasuke, and Kakashi's there on time, and Kakashi says, so, Gilgamesh, are you ready to get your butt whooped? And Gilgamesh just starts laughing. He says, you know, you're one cocky little mongrel, you know that, right? For an insect that's about to die, you really have a lot of arrogance. And Kakashi is thinking in his mind, I have a lot of arrogance? You need to check yourself in the mirror, kid. Gilgamesh would then says, alright, so when are we going to start this fight? And Kakashi says, hold on. I have to explain the rules first. Kakashi says, you just have to take these bells from me. If you can take these bells from me, you pass. And Sasuke says, well, no, I'm going to say Hinata says, well, there's only 2 bells. And Kakashi says, yep, that means only 2 of you will pass. And the other one will fail and go back to the academy. So, Kakashi says, well, so you have 2 options. You can either work together as a team, and only 2 of you may get it, and only 1 of you will fail. Or you can each take me on separately, to where only 1 of you will get the chance of taking the bell by any amazing luck. But then again, you may not beat me before the time runs out, and then at that point you will all fail. So, if I were you, I would try to at least limit my options of who's losing. Of course, Kakashi giving them the hint that this test is mainly about teamwork. But he's also doing this to see if Gilgamesh can play with others, if he can work well as a team. And of course, Gilgamesh sees what Kakashi's trying to do, but not wanting to give Kakashi the satisfaction of Gilgamesh having to lower himself to play with others. Gilgamesh says, this will be quick. Then, of course, Kakashi says, you have until 12 o'clock to beat me. And Kakashi says, and begin. And of course, Sasuke and Hinata jump into the leaves and the shrubs. And Kakashi says, well, I already knew how this was going to be planned out. And of course, Gilgamesh seeing through Kakashi's facade and seeing all the lies that Kakashi's doing and seeing what's actually going on. And of course, this is when Gilgamesh uses his ability to see into different parallel worlds. And he sees into one parallel world that shows him going right behind Kakashi, behind him at an amazing speed, taking out a sword from his Gate of Babylon, cutting off the string to the bell and catching it right before it hits the ground before Kakashi can even react. So Gilgamesh says, that seems like the best course of action. So Gilgamesh would then presume to go right behind Kakashi at blinding speeds. And Kakashi's like, wait, what? And then all you just hear is a sword. Then Gilgamesh opens up the Gate of Babylon. Just one golden portal comes. And it opens up. One golden portal opens up. And you just... And I'm just going to say Gilgamesh takes the grass cutter blade. And cuts one of the bells. And takes the bell before it hits the ground. And Gilgamesh says, look what I got. And of course... Gilgamesh puts the grass cutter back into the Gate of Babylon portal, and the grass cutter blade goes back into the Gate of Babylon portal, and the Gate of Babylon portal closes, and Gilgamesh says, well, looks like I passed your test. And Gilgamesh is walking past Kakashi and says, look, I already know about the test, the whole point of the test was about teamwork. And Kakashi says, wait, you knew what the test was about? And Gilgamesh says, I can see through all of your lies and facades, your illusions or genjutsus or whatever you would like to call it. I can see through it all. Nothing gets past my sight. Nothing. And of course, Gilgamesh would go hop onto a tree, and of course he would wait for Hinata and Sasuke to figure out what the goal of the test, and them, of course, figuring out that the whole meaning of the test was teamwork. They decided to work together as a team. Sasuke, awakening uses his 2 Tomoe Sharingan in both of his eyes, and Hinata activating the Byakugan in both of her eyes, start going and attacking Kakashi at full force. And then Kakashi says, alright, that's enough. He says, you will all pass. Kind of scowling at Naruto, and Naruto says, who gave you permission to look upon me, mongrel? And I'm going to leave it right here for right now, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Gilgamesh, part 2. So, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you guys thought of this video, and turn that bell notification on so that way you guys can stay updated every time when I upload and drop all of my awesome videos. But without further ado, guys, see you guys later. Peace out.